Been a quick morning of action here in Eindhoven. The last final of this morning is the men's 200 freestyle for the S3 class.
This is the men's 200 freestyle S3 Final.
5 swimmers in this final. Alexander Makarov from Russia goes in lane number 2.
Lane 2, representing Russia, Alexander Makarov.
Lane number 3, Ioannis Kostakis
Lane 3, representing Greece,
from
Ioannis
Greece.
Kostakis. Lane 4, representing
Lane number
Ukraine,
4, the European record holder from Ukraine,
In lane 5,
Dmitro Vinohradets.
Miguel
Miguel
Angel Martinez Pezuelo.
Angel Martinez
In lane 6,
Trujillo
representing France,
for Spain goes in 5, and Frederic Bussy
This is the men's 200 meters
from France
freestyle
is the final swimmer in this final. European record set right here in Eindhoven at the World Championships back in 2010. 3:21.96. Well, Vinohradets has a couple of gold medals to his name already this week. He's pretty much the dominant force in the S3 classification. Martinez Trujillo of Spain. I think, as we've seen in a number of the lower classification races, the different styles of starts here. Some people holding on to the block, some people being held by their coach. This is the final of the men's 200 meters freestyle S3.
Well, those swimmers that were held in the middle lanes by the coaches straight into the stroke. Looking fairly comfortable. Martinez Trujillo of Spain in lane 5 there. Very much a contrast, this, isn't it, Paul, between the low control, high turnover, even turnover of the Spaniard in lane 5, and the much slower, more considered stroke. Vinohradets.
Absolutely, they are pretty much on a par in the early stages here. Vinohradets with just under a second of a lead over Trujillo Martinez. It was a good turn from Vinohradets though.
It was a
Trujillo
poor...
Martinez just getting tied up a little bit there at the turn, wasn't he?
I think he tried to... He obviously goes to hit the touchpad and uses that to spin himself round. And he looked to me like he slipped on it because he went to spin himself round and he had to reach back. Well, and that's cost him a full body length.
Well, that could be vital come the end of this race, because Vinohradets, although he is a big favourite for this one, he hasn't been on his very top form this week. He's not been hitting those sensational times that we've seen from him in the past. 3:21 is his world record, as I said, set back here in 2010. Oh, again, not a great turn from the Spaniard, was it?
No, his coach will be looking at that, and well, you can see he's got very limited control of his hands. I wonder if he's got any feeling in his hands. And these touch pads, when they get wet, although they've got quite a grippy surface, when you try and move laterally across them, they can actually be quite slippy. And I'm wondering if he's trying to turn too early, Paul. He's trying to turn before he'd really got a hold of the wall. And that's causing his hand to slip. And each time that happens, well, we can see the devastating effect of that as Vinohradets of the Ukraine now a full 2 body lengths clear, and that's come just from the turns. 1 turn equals 1 body length.
We'll keep an eye on this turn. It's the final turn here. Vino Radec just flipping himself over. Martinez Toelo again.
He's made the same mistake again.
Just seems to be reaching for that wall and missing it every time. The flag's there. If the swimmers are swimming on their backs there, the flags will give them an idea of when the wall is approaching. Vino Radec has been pretty steady here. He's just increased that lead over Martinez Toelo as the race has progressed. Kostakis in third place at the moment, ahead of Makarov. But Vino Radec, well, it's a steady stroke, isn't it? And he has just ground this one out and increased the lead over the whole of this 200 metres. It is going to be gold, I'm sure, to Dimitro Vino Radec. Again, he is going to be some way outside his best, but he is going to claim another European title in the S3 200 freestyle. The gold does go to Ukraine, 344.62. It will be silver to Spain. Martinez Toelo touching in 352.95, and it will be Ioannis Kostakis from Greece who will come through for the bronze medal. The Greek on the medal podium again.
Well, Vino Radec, the European champion, the time was not pretty at all. Massively, massively outside of his best. 3:44 on paper. He's a 3:21 man. But it was good enough on the day. Lots and lots of mistakes, it has to be said, from Martinez Toelo of Spain. He really has got to work on those turns here. Coming into the finish now, Paul. In lane number 6, Frédéric Boussy of France.
.39 for Frédéric Boussy. Makarov in 4th place with a good time of 4:28. There's Dimitro Vino Radec, and there's Martinez Toelo.
Well, here we can see. Now, he's seen the flags. He should know how far it is to the wall from that. That's the whole point of the flags. He sees the flags. He then looks over his shoulder. That slows him down. He then tries to turn too early and misses the wall, and does that on every single turn.
Vino Radec at the finish. He was away and clear by that time. Spanish swimmer just coming in here. Vino Radec, well, he just kept that stroke going. He just ground it out all the way through. Reaches for the wall. And a comfortable victory for the Ukrainian Vino Radec. He's never looked too happy this week. He's won 3 gold medals, I think that is now. He's never been too delighted about them. Maybe because he's outside his best times. Kind of some of these swimmers, very hard taskmasters on themselves. Dimitro Vino Radec is the European champion, ahead of Miguel Angel Martinez Toelo and Ioannis Kostakis.